I'm going to be going through each of the different costs involved in a holiday like this, and then at the end there'll be a grand total. Hello, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Alice and this channel is called Alice's Life. Today I'm going to be spilling the beans and sharing with you how much it cost in pounds sterling for me to go on holiday for 2 weeks in Orlando, Florida in autumn 2022. The first cost was for me and only for me, and that's because I am currently living in Northern Ireland. So I had to fly over from here, from like Belfast International, over to mainland UK, so we were able to fly out there together. The cost of my EasyJet flights, including my big like 23kg limit suitcase, was £92.46 return, which I think is a pretty good price. Next is the most significant cost, and we booked the flights and the hotel package back in March 2022. So about 6 months before we went away on this trip. So we did a lot of research online and spoke to a few travel agents, and the cheapest that we were finding was TUI. We did not stay at a Disney Resort hotel, and the reason for that was just purely down to cost. If we had the money, or we thought it was a good way to spend money, then we would have done that. But we actually stayed at the Rosen Inn Buena Vista Hotel. There is another Rosen Inn on International Drive, which is closer to the Universal Parks, but it made sense for us to be at the other end of International Drive due to its proximity to the Disney World parks. We also researched the costs for buying the flights and also the hotel separately, but I think I was a bit apprehensive because coronavirus, and you can get a bit more security and more of a guarantee if you're with a package or in together, and we actually found this price really reasonable. So flights and the hotel for both of us were £1,843.40p, and then we split that straight down the middle, and that was £921.70 each. So yeah, so we flew TUI and then stayed for 14 nights at the Rosen Inn Lake Buena Vista. As soon as you book your flights and your holiday, you really should go and book your travel insurance. So we did some research and we decided to go with Insure with Ease, and we went for the gold cover single trip package just because we're not always going on that many holidays, and this cost £96 in total, or £48 each. So there are price comparison websites that you can use, and which we did use, and that's a pretty reasonable price for that sort of trip. Next up is sorting out your visas for entering America. So this is called the Electronic System for Travel Authorization. So you need to do that to be allowed into the country, and that costs $14 each. So at the time that was £10.49 for each of us. The next most significant cost, aside from the package with TUI, was the Disney World Pass. So they always tend to, well, very often they have like a 7 days plus 7 days free sort of ticket, so that's a 14-day pass. So we booked through attraction tickets, and we got a photo pass as well, which was really great because we got some good photos which we would have not otherwise been able to get. And we also got a keepsake travel wallet because it's the 50th anniversary. They gave us this, if you can see. There's my one. Yeah, so I suppose this little ticket cost me £449. We waited until we were out there and like halfway through the holiday before booking our Universal tickets. If you book them in advance, you might be able to get a cheaper deal, but we were kind of going to wait and see how entertained we were by Disney and what the queues were like, because if the queues were really bad and we were struggling to get all the things done we wanted to get done, then we would want to spend less time in Universal, because when we previously went 12 years ago, that's where we spent the majority of the time, was at the Universal parks and also SeaWorld. The tickets of Universal came to £300 each. So if you look at the cost of the Universal tickets and also the Disney tickets, both of those together is like £779, which is about 30% of the overall cost of the trip. Then there's the travel and getting to the parks. So the benefit of if we were at a Disney resort is that all the transport is free, but we were staying off property, so we had Ubers. Uber prices can vary very drastically, and actually Rosen Inn Lake Buena Vista did have the occasional shuttle bus, but they were very often at really awkward times. They were better timings for Universal than they were to Disney, but a couple of days we just managed to get the bus back from Epcot, I think. No, Hollywood Studios, or maybe both. I don't know, we got the bus a couple of times, but generally we had to rely on Ubers. So Ubers came to £147.43 for my half of the cost, which is quite a lot to spend £150, but then if you think about it, that works out as about £10 a day, which isn't bad at all. Now, food. So the exchange rate between pound sterling and US dollars was actually really bad when we travelled, and they were basically the same, or like very similar, particularly when you were taking into account the tax and other things that are added on, like service charges. Basically, it didn't feel like we were getting a good deal with the food purchases at all. But I've got a list here of some of the things that we ate. So we went to Taco Bell, we went to Blaze Pizza at Disney Springs, and that was really good. You like design your own pizzas. We went to Casey's Corn at Magic Kingdom and had hot dogs. We went to Deluxe Burger at Disney Springs and got a burger. We got a Uber Eats one night, which was a Chick-fil-A and also Chipotle. Really tasty. We had a Woody's lunchbox, tachos, like little hash brown potato croquettes at Hollywood Studios. I got a Mickey pretzel one day. Then there's also Erin McKenna's bakery, which is very expensive. It was like $8.50 or something for a like whoopie pie. Over the whole holiday, I only purchased 5 drinks, which I feel is pretty good. It's not excessive. So 4 of these were iced coffees, mostly like pumpkin spiced or like something else to cool myself down, full of ice cubes. And then also at Universal, I got a moose juice in the Seuss Land because I was struggling with the heat. Another thing that I bought out was Voodoo Donuts. So I bought 4 of these, which seems like a lot of donuts, but it was like spread out. So I think it's important to eat out and get the snacks and stuff you want to get, because part of the reason and the nice thing about going over to Florida is the food is a little bit different. Particularly at Epcot, there was a lot of foods to try, and if you watch my Epcot video, you will see all the different foods that were available at the Food and Wine Festival. Generally, most of the food that I consumed whilst over there on holiday was from Target or Walmart. We took packed lunches into the parks pretty much every day unless there was a particular food we really wanted to try, and we always had snacks, so you can buy microwavable popcorn, pop that at home if you've got a microwave in your hotel room, and then take it into the hotel in a resealable plastic bag. So that's a really great way to save money, because the thing of popcorn at the Disney World parks was like $13. But anyway, just the price of food in America, I was actually quite horrified. Like a pack of multi-grain seedy bagels, like there wasn't any supermarket owned brands for some reason, so like this was a pack of bagels, was $3.99, and like here, like the equivalent would be like £3.50, whereas here that would be £1.40 maybe. But anyway, bagel, a little bit of spicy salsa, roast chicken, lettuce. That's what I ate. And also fruit's expensive as well. And also the big bags of crisps, I swear here they're like £1 or £1.50. There they were $4.50, which is probably like £3.80. So be prepared to spend money, but even if you're going to Walmart and buying all these foods, like one day we spent well over $100, it was so much cheaper than like buying our own food and taking it in, rather than if we consumed every meal and every morsel at the parks, we would have spent way more than this. 2 other expensive food items were going to Ohana for breakfast. That came to £27, but I am so pleased I did that. So that's like all you can eat breakfast, and I have reviewed that up on my channel. And then something else is the Snow White character dining, which we did at Artist Point in Wilderness Lodge, and that was actually £66 8p each for an adult ticket, and we didn't order any drinks. That is a lot, because I would never ever usually spend that much on one meal out, but I'm pleased I did it. But anyway, are you ready for the total of how much I spent on food over the 2-week period? Oh, I took my own cereal bars and things as well, so I don't know. I managed to spend £337.27p. Okay, last but not least is the souvenirs and the presents which I purchased for other people. I've gone through my Florida haul video and tried to like add up roughly, because I didn't keep every single receipt. But kind of like a rough estimate is £158. So that's how much I spent on like souvenirs. I bought some really nice Alice in Wonderland oven gloves. I got a Voodoo coffee takeaway cup, and also a really nice Disney hoodie, which I've been wearing quite a lot recently. When going on a holiday like this, there's also other things. Like I had to buy a big suitcase, which I don't usually use. Usually I just have like a little one you can take into the aircraft with you, or into the cabin. So I had to buy a big suitcase, £60 in TK Maxx, and then I also needed to buy a little mini fan, which is an essential, and that cost £22.99 from Amazon. And then there's also sun cream and stuff. All those kind of like little things add up, and that might have come to like £150 of like things I had to buy specifically for this holiday. I'm not going to include like the suitcase and little fan in the total, because I know a lot of people would already have those sort of things already. But just taking into account the flights, the hotel, the travel insurance, the ETSA visa, the Disney pass, the Universal pass, the food, the Ubers and the souvenirs. Grand total, if you've got this far, congratulations, but it is, so this is just for my half of the holiday, £2,441.08. So just below £2,500. But it is a once in a lifetime holiday. I'm just slightly cringe. I don't know, because I'm comparing it to how much it would cost if I went to a Disney resort, and I think, or if I'd eaten out more often, and I feel like it's not that bad. But it still feels like a lot of money to myself. But anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please can you give it a thumbs up, and then more people will end up seeing it because of the YouTube algorithm. Anyway, bye.